Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back to the stage your host, Darren Elmore.
Yo, thank you guys. Did you guys have a good break? Yeah? Stab anybody? No? No fights? No drug deals gone wrong? God, you guys are boring. Come on. How you guys, did you enjoy the first half of the show? Weren't they great? They were fantastic. Well, the second half is going to be just as good, if not worse. But really, I gotta say, I'm having a great time here tonight. Lots of great people in the audience, lots of beautiful women, I assume. I'm not really one to judge, to be honest with you. I do have some experience with women. I mean, I don't get along very well with gay people in general, gay men, because we don't. I'm a little different. I like death metal and comedy and rugby and whatnot, which is great. But however, it doesn't really make you very popular with other gay men. I do, however, get along really well with lesbians. Yeah, a couple of lesbians in the audience. How about you ladies? Yeah. Bottle of wine, a Sarah McLachlan CD. Yeah. How about any women who just want to beat up their husband or boyfriend? Any of those? Yeah, there's a few of those in the audience. Close enough. Close enough. I love lesbians, actually, so much that my one and only girlfriend in university turned out to be a lesbian. I had no clue at the time. I was totally clueless. Although looking back, there were clues. I mean, of course there were. For instance, her name was Barb. That was it, really, to be honest with you. Friends were Pat and Ann. So, but yeah, I do love lesbians. And lesbians don't know really what to make of me, though, to be honest with you. They think that a lot of that gay men hate women. I don't hate women. I actually love women. I get along really well with women. I support women. I'm a feminist. Okay, no, obviously this is not a feminist crowd. I get that. I normally get an applause, but I am a feminist. It's the vaginas I hate. They're terrifying. And I know what I'm talking about. I've seen one up close. Not in person, on the internet. And looking at pictures of vaginas on the internet at this point for me is kind of like watching an ISIS beheading video. It's like I'm curious, I'm scared, I'm watching it through my fingers. I just don't want to see any blood. No blood. God, yeah, and I'm not anti-vagina either. I'm not. I just happen to be really, really, really pro-penis. And can you blame me? I mean, look at the two side by side. A penis is like having a really great roommate in university. It lays around, sleeps most of the day. Every once in a while it gets up, parties till it pukes. Goes back to bed. But vaginas, on the other hand, there's all these weird wrinkles and funny smells, bleeds for almost no reason. Usually spending time with it involves listening to a bunch of boring stories. It's like visiting your 95-year-old grandmother. So, party, grandmother, do you blame me? Really? Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are kind of split on what exactly being gay is. Some people say that being gay is unnatural and it's wrong, and it's a choice. Others say that you're born that way. I don't necessarily know the truth to that. I can only tell you what my truth is, and I know that I'm gay because I read a bunch of bad online reviews of vagina. It was in a shitty neighborhood. I started eating and I found a hair. What a hole. I think that was a positive one, actually, to be honest with you. I do, it's interesting actually being the kind of gay guy that I am, because I've had people tell me that I can get away with doing gay humor in places, smaller places like Sussex, because I am not a typical flamboyant type of homosexual. And I've even had people go so far as to call me a safe gay. And that bothers me for two reasons. Number one, I don't think that masculinity and femininity are, one is better than the other. I think they're both different, and everyone has their different energies. Everyone has them in different mixtures. And of course, the second reason why that bothers me is I stab a lot of people. Very stabby. And I'd like to get credit for being a little dangerous. Yeah, so now I'm just gay in Sussex. That's fun. Let me tell you. And it's not like I don't try to fit in. I do. It's difficult, though, because everyone up there wears camouflage all year, so I can't see them. I don't know they're there until the truck starts up, and then it's too late. They're gone. But it's hard. It's hard being gay in a town where the only men's clothing stores are Mark's Work Warehouse and Walmart. There's no glitter on those clothes. They don't look cool in dance clubs. But I shit on Sussex a lot. I do. I shit on Sussex a lot. Literally. Every morning at 3 o'clock in the morning, I sneak down and drop a deuce on the steps of Town Hall. Leave a note that says, "Get a Starbucks already." Still haven't done it. God damn it, still haven't done it. But I gotta tell you this, and before I bring up your next comic, I gotta say, I love Sussex, actually, because things have changed. And if you're ever worried that humanity is just beyond hope, just know this. When I was growing up in Sussex, I was terrified that anyone would find out that I was gay. Absolutely mortified by the very thought of it. But just last year, I went home, I stood up on stage in Sussex, and I told my little vulgar butt sex jokes, and they were supportive. They didn't boo, they laughed, they didn't hiss, they didn't throw things at me. They barely even set me on fire. It was inspirational. So there is hope for humanity. We are capable of change. But on that, I'm going to bring up our second to last performer, and he is yet another one of these brand new comedians in New Brunswick who are just blowing me away. They're fantastic. He's new, and he is just ripping it up everywhere he goes. You're going to love him. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a big round of applause to Mr. Dan McCarthy. Dan, over here.
Thank you for that. For all you know, I'm actually really bad at this, so thanks for clapping beforehand. Before I begin my set tonight, I just want to say sorry for starting off on a bit of a down note, but I just learned that today the world lost our very last Hot Debbie. It happened last night. Hot Debbie went to bed, and sometime while she slept, Father Time crept into her room, did some shit to her face, and she woke up, and she was just Debbie. And it's happening more and more. A couple months ago was the last Hot Cheryl. We have our last Hot Linda being held in captivity, and we're trying to get her to breed with the last Hot Gordon, but it's not going very well. And once she's gone, that's an entire generation of hot chicks gone. Gone. And then all we're gonna have left is the hot girls from my generation. The hot Tiffanys, the hot Chelseas, and the hot Ambers. But you know they're not gonna last. All that tanning and late night partying, they may look good now, ladies and gentlemen, but 20 years from now, they're gonna look like a free leather couch on Kijiji. It's not gonna be good. And then we'll have to have the whole other generation of hot girls, and fuck knows what they're gonna be called, and fuck knows how it's gonna be spelled. We're always going to have the same problems with hot women, though, and it's going to happen generation after generation. The big problem with hot women is sometimes hot women don't know how hard it can get being an ugly woman. And the problem with ugly women is they don't know how hard it can get. Yeah, took you a second. It took you a second. Yeah. That was a nice laugh. Actually, I might uncross my arms. Yeah. No, we're getting rid of a lot of things in our society. We got rid of all the hot old lady names. We're getting rid of a lot of stuff. We're getting rid of a lot of words, I've noticed recently. Everything's becoming more politically correct, and overall, I think that's a good thing. Less people are getting offended. But we're just throwing out these words all willy-nilly, and we just don't care what we're doing. You have any idea how long it takes a word to decompose in a landfill? It takes forever. So I've decided I'm going to start recycling some of these words that we have now deemed as a society are now impolite. The first word I'd like to recycle is the word bitch. A lot of feminist groups don't care for the word bitch. It's a misogynistic term. You know what? I tend to agree with them. But it makes an excellent word for when you ditch your dyslexic friend. Yeah. The next word we're going to repurpose, the word thug. A lot of racial tension down in the States specifically, not so much up here, but a little bit racial tension down there, and people think the word thug needs to go, and I agree. But it makes an excellent word for a discount combo you can get from a hooker. Combination tug and hug. Inner city black men will love it. And lastly, the word slut. It rolls right off the tongue. It's a great fucking word. But to me, the meaning's not very nice. You're called a promiscuous woman. They're just doing the same thing guys are trying to do all fucking day anyway. Right? Yeah. But I've repurposed the word slut. The word slut is now a unit of measurement for glitter. Fun fact, one slut of glitter, exactly the same size as one morning after pill. Yeah. The problem with everything getting more and more politically correct, though, is every time someone gets busted saying something they're not supposed to say, it's always an old guy. Like, if you're 80 years old, they've changed what you're supposed to call black people like 9 times. It's hard to keep up. Like, I'm young and I still feel like I have a hard time addressing it. But I feel bad for old guys, you know, they're just trying to keep up. But actually, speaking of old guys though, we just added a whole new group of old guys to the old guy roster, and that is the aging rocker guy. You've all seen them, as sad as they are. I didn't notice it till recently when everyone was posting on Facebook the pictures of the AC/DC concert, and it was fucking gray hair as far as the bifocal eye could see. But I think if AC/DC wants to be keeping up with their aging fan base, they need to update the playlist just a little bit. They should be playing I Threw Out My Back in Black, or Driving 80 on the Highway to Hell. For those about to rock, we salute you because you probably served in World War II. Dirty deeds done for not nearly as fucking cheap as they used to be. And you shook me till 8 p.m. Yeah. I do like that they're having those things around here, though. It's good for tourism. The government of New Brunswick actually just released a statement a little while back saying for every dollar we're investing in tourism, we're getting about $2.50 back. And I think that's good, because we're fucking broke. So, but they're not getting, I don't feel like the people coming here are getting a real, authentic St. John experience, you know? Like, they're all eating at Billy's Seafood, and we're all us locals are at fucking Billy's sketchy Cousin Bob's over on the west side. Eating the greasiest french fries known to mankind. Yeah. Burgers of questionable origin. And gravy's so thick you could probably make love to it. And I'm not just saying if you're a guy, you could go there, like make a slit and go to town. No, I'm saying if you're a lady, hold on. If you're a lady, you could definitely form it into some sort of shape and go to town. That is if you're not too picky about what you put inside your body. Grown all you like, but that's actually the fucking healthiest way to consume Bob's gravy. But they're not getting a real, authentic St. John experience. So I've come up with some interesting little factoids about this city that maybe some of you aren't even aware of, some of you locals. For example, did you know that our name, the port city, is not because of our ability to harbor large ships? It's actually because of our love for cheap fortified wine. How about this? Did you know since 1984 we've been leading the region in guys who think that black jeans and dress pants are the same fucking thing? That one hit home. That one hit home. Our annual Santa Claus parade is world renowned for being the world's largest gathering of stroller-mounted ashtrays. Yeah. Many locals were really surprised when they closed and dismantled the original Reversing Falls restaurant, especially after it got a cover story on Bridge Suicide Spectator Monthly. The St. John Sea Dogs won the Memorial Cup in 2011, making them the pride of the city. But in true St. John fashion, most of the good players moved to Alberta to become Oilers. Yeah. It was recently believed that the rate of birth decline was actually because a lot of our young people are moving out west to find work. But it actually turned out that many new mothers had actually given birth at the bottom of a pothole on Crown Street. At 230 years of age, St. John is the oldest incorporated city in all of Canada, and yet we still read at a 4th grade level. Fuck yeah, indeed, sir. Fuck yeah, indeed. That's a fucking St. Johner right there. Yeah. Fuck yeah. Hey, tell Debbie I said hello. St. John is the second largest city in Atlantic Canada after Halifax, but we prefer to think of ourselves as the largest city in Atlantic Canada to never have a giant ass boat explosion. And lastly, locals take great offense to the abbreviation ST period, John. Not because we don't want to be confused with St. John's, Newfoundland, and not because we have anything against abbreviations, but because we have great local reverence for the word ain't. Anyways, that's it for me tonight, folks. You've been a great crowd. Thank you, good night.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ed Helms from The Office. Does that man not look like Ed Helms from The Office? Oh, man. And here's the thing about Dan McCarthy. Not only is he young and brilliantly talented and super funny, he has proven to me once and for all that gaydar is actually a thing. Stay with me on this one. It's not going where you think. He's married and heterosexual and has a kid. No, really, trust me, he is. And he is so heterosexual, he doesn't even register to me as a person. I actually have to keep reminding myself that I'm talking to him. Okay, you can take that one home with you and study it tonight if you want. That's yours.